Hey y'all, Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart reading here, Bohemia here, and I just wanted to do a little chat. This is in regards to free readings, kind of psychic vampirism and kind of predatory behavior that people go through, whether intentionally or not, when it comes to readers, psychics, mediums, healers. Um, and how to control your energy better when you're going through something and when you're seeking services, whether it is readings, magical work, things of that nature. So first of all, it is very disrespectful to go around asking for free readings all the time. There are so many free readings. My channel is full of them. There's so many free readings. A lot of people do giveaways. Literally, there are hundreds, thousands of readers who are continuously putting out free content, trying to share their energy in ways to give back and to purposely hunt down people to go on live readings, to be commenting and asking for free readings is very disrespectful. It's very, it's lacking in tact, it's lacking in etiquette, and very, it's not tasteful. It's not tasteful to do that. Um, you really have to be aware of your own spiritual journey and make sure that you are not crossing the boundaries where you're expecting people to caretake your own spiritual path more than you are. So I've come from a very hard knock life, right? So I understand at times that you're feeling like you're not sure if you have everything that you need to get the insight and spiritual guidance that you want. But, having to take spiritual responsibility though. I always tell my students when I come, when they're in class, and I do a lot of divination classes, I do classes for a lot of people, especially children who have psychic awakenings and they're not sure how to handle them. I always tell them the universe can talk, and you can, like I said in my other video, you can throw rice on the ground and have a divination. Now, if you're needing help and guidance with that, using your free resources, I mean, literally, I'm a self-taught reader, okay? And I am very good at what I do. I've kept my prices low for years. I mean, a decade. And from the gate, I should have, it could have been much more for the energy I put out. It's not just a matter of, high cost. So it's literally the exchange, the equivalent exchange of what you're doing and the amount of work that you're doing in the spiritual and emotional labor and guidance. So now in society, we really don't have a respect for the healer. If we were in traditional villages where things were more well rounded and taken care of, it would be easier to accept, more simple exchanges in certain ways, or, because the healers would be taken care of in traditional society. That's not how it is now. We have to pay our bills. We have to do all of this, full, heavy spiritual work for ourselves and others. And not all readers read so spiritually. There are readers who separate spirituality from tarot, but I think a good many of us, and myself in particular, this is how we do it. Um, so when it comes to all of these services, whether it's talking to your brujas or to your readers, to your mediums, your life coaches, it's very disrespectful to go and try to guilt trip them spiritually and emotionally, manipulate them into giving you what you want because you're in desperation, because you're not listening to your internal guidance. And I'm speaking for those who really get in that mode where they're manipulating and they're going praying from one to another. That's you escaping your own sitting with yourself, right? Your hermit card. All right, sitting with yourself, finding your own wisdom from your circumstances. So it is very important to make sure that you're utilizing you to work with. As I said myself, I have, in my family, we have a lot of spiritual gifts that run, but I'm also very self taught. So I know for a fact, coming up being homeless in youth, that there are resources to teach yourself tools and to teach yourself tarot and astrology and things, which is also another reason why it's important to respect readers when they're giving you knowledge that has taken them hard lives and study and spiritual journeys and ceremony, and depending on the work that you're doing, the more that it gets into, it's very important. And if so that's the boundaries I'm setting for my channel. I see people flicking on and off because they think it's about a free reading, and then it's not. And if that's the case, I'm not interested in that anymore. I already went through that phase when I was young, just constantly being energetically drained. People who don't stop messaging, have boundaries, okay? You like, don't just be sitting there and because somebody is caring, messaging again and again and again and again and again and again and again, and just incessantly dumping your energy, or pulling into their lives, and trying to make them on call. That's not healthy, right? And that's probably what's going on wrong in your personal relationships. If you're freaking out about a relationship, is you have no respect and boundaries, and it's not okay to abuse your healers that way. It's not. And and I'm a Pisces healer, so a lot of times you're putting, and that, I think the people who do this, they know what they're doing. They just know that this person cares, and what happens is they'll do it and do it and do it until that healer puts a boundary there, and then they will disappear, and they'll move on to the next person, right? Some people will do that and also badmouth and try to leave bad reviews. That didn't happen to me right now, but I've been in many different types of spiritual, mystic, tarot reader, everything kind of circles, and you just see this happen again and again and again and again. So it needs to stop, and I don't like when I see it happening to other readers, and their good nature and their good heart and intent. It is nobody's place to say, well, you should be doing this for free, or I think it's time for you to do stuff for others, so I'm going to demand a free reading. Again, you really have to look at your character and what place you're being in at that time. So when I connect with somebody and they're immediately setting up the thing where they're hoping, even though they know I do services and this is what I do to provide for myself and my family, and try to utilize my gifts as best as possible, when they're setting it up, trying to, already manipulate and guilt, hi, champagne, so that they can get something for free that they know has a cost. There's not even a barter or anything that comes with it. And then when you do say, okay, well, let's talk, and I'll give you a free consultation, and we can see what's needed, and and there's just like this energetic. So this is the second part, is energetically dumping when you do come for services. Okay, so when you talk to your readers, when you talk to your healers, your brujas, your mediums, what you don't want to do is get in their inbox and just dump one big continuous 3 pages of story, losing it all over the place, and telling 15 different storylines, and that is energetically, it's very energetically abusive, and especially a lot of people that are doing that, they're doing it to many people, right? Many different healers. So one, that is draining to you. It's not going to heal you because you're spreading your energy everywhere. And two, that's a big energy punch to the person you're coming to asking to heal you. So and that's probably what is going wrong in your relationships, right? Is that there's not an emotional and energetic boundaries. um oh, thank you. Yes, full moon energy. I know, I need to take them out there on my balcony right now. Yes, thank you. I just got them all over. I keep pulling them out for readings and not putting them away. um Yes, so when we talk to our healers, when we talk to, the people that we're coming to, it's understandable if you have a little bit of a lengthy story, but try to have this concise, have it together, have the points that are high morning star, that are, making, uh, that are making sense for the work that you're getting done, right? So you want to have things in a way that's understandable, in a way that is emotionally and energetically responsible when you're presenting them to your readers and to your healers. All right? So it's kind of just like, if you're talking to your teacher, you don't want to go and just go crazy and just lose it, and have all of this. So it's, yes, we need healing when we come to our healings. Yes, the full moon is really intense, huh? In some ways it feels gentler for me than other ones have, but it's still, I don't know, it has like this, it just feels so wide and so vast and so big, right? But I guess that's Sagittarius. All right, and that's probably why I'm giving this. Sagittarius is one of the teachers, right? And Sagittarius does work on boundaries, the boundaries between what we're allowed and what we're not when we're embracing and learning from others. So I guess that's probably why I was just getting ready to bake cookies, and I was like, you know what, I need to go make this video and have a chat and talk about this. So have good healthy spiritual boundaries with your healers. Don't, expect them to be on call 24/7. Even if they have open hours, be respectful when you're messaging them, what you're sending out to them, what you're requesting of them. When you're writing to them, let's not try not to spew the toxicity that you're trying to get healing from. And this is not to say, oh, don't be afraid to talk about what you need healing with, but I think we know the difference than, people who just have a very kind of, I need to get what I need to get. This is the utmost support and give it for free. Yes, cookies. Make some chocolate chip. It might be delayed when I'm seeing your comments. I'm not sure. Um, yeah, so I just think it's very important to talk about, and I definitely want to set that energetic boundary with my business and hopefully help, line that up for others. And I think a reason that this is very important too is because if we're trying to bring healing, that's one of the quickest things that can be healing to you. And what can also happen too is you have to remember that not all people who are doing healing services are, in a good way. They're really not. I've really worked in some centers where they were all predators themselves, and I was like bringing, flagging that. I was bringing that, and you know what? They're not standing anymore. Yes. Um, thank you. Thank you. So that's another thing too that I get concerned with if I see clients who are very, very open, but very crazy, chaotic energy and not knowing how to control their energy. Is if you get the wrong healer, then you can get very preyed on yourself. So there can be this cycle that I see, and I do see people sync up in very toxic connections, and there'll be whole communities and followings of that. So that's really not what we want. What we don't want to have. We want to have a lot of positive champagne and chocolate chip cookies. There you go. Yes, much better alternative. So that was just on my heart. I wanted to talk about that a bit. So go ahead and feel free to talk in the comments too, and see how you feel about that. But please be very respectful of your readers. Please respect their services and what they're requiring and asking. Make sure to definitely bring all your concerns, but to keep it to the point of what you're needing in that working in that healing that can help you more directly address what you need at that time. And just it helps with exchange, it helps with clarity, it helps with nurturing bonds that can really last. A question: we are all healers. Why can't we really heal ourselves or have a hard time healing ourselves faster? Yes, it's true. Sometimes I feel like when it comes to, us healing ourselves, that it's like we either are like super pros at that one part, or it's just like the hardest thing. And I mean, part of it's just probably because of our own natures in these human bodies, that we're such social creatures. And I think part of us, we really like, hi, cute animals. Yeah, it is a great question. I think part of us is that we like the shared experience, right? So that's why we all incarnated, is to have the shared experience of healing each other. And sometimes I think too, because another reason that we incarnate and come here is to see things from different perspectives, right? Instead of just being this big super consciousness of whole, we want to see things in unique perspectives, but then we kind of get stuck at that angle. So we need someone else who's like that mirror that can look around the corners for us and kind of point it out. So it can be difficult sometimes to see ourselves, or to know how to climb out of it. Thank you so much, cute animals. I like thinking of little like, oh, that'd be a good idea out here. Let's try that. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy. Feel free to contribute your ideas. But yes, and I think that's why I'm so passionate about having very clear energy in the healing community, is because we do. We all need healing. We all need healing. Yes, it is. It can be a long process. In our astrology, there's Chiron. It's an asteroid, and they're thinking about making it like a planet, the ruler of Virgo. And it shows where we're wounded, like in childhood. And in past lives, and we can become the teacher of that energy. And that part's not always talked about as much. We can become the teacher of that energy and know how to heal everyone, like the best in that, but it's because it's our deepest wound, right? Oh yeah, your South Node and Moon in Virgo. Yeah, so you'll really want to heal. And so, and especially with that, I think Virgo is a sign that holds so much healing potential, but can be so critical on themselves, so tough on themselves. I always have Virgos around. Yeah, so Virgos have to learn to be forgiving of self, right? Because the opposite side's Pisces, which is just like, everything's okay, everyone deserves love. And me being Pisces, and I was raised by a Virgo, and I was always around Virgos, and they would just be so hard to them on themselves, and I would be one of the few people they'd open up to because I'd just be really, compassionate with them. And I always said that with Virgos, like, you're lovable. Don't be so hard on yourselves. Yeah, so going to your North Node in Pisces, that's what you'll get that. Leo sun and rising. My daughter is Leo rising, which is so fun. She's so funny. Oh my gosh, she's so much fun. Yes. So I think, yeah, so look to your Chiron if you want to look towards some healing tools that you have. Virgo ascendant. Yep, I have a lot of Virgo ascendants around me too. A lot of people, yeah, Virgo is one of the signs very drawn to me. Leos are usually very drawn to me. They'll just like kind of pick me, and they'll just tell me like, "Oh, you're gonna be my." Yeah. Um, yeah, so healing, healing, healing. Yes, I just, yeah, I want everything to have healing. So, um, I think that it's good to I think one thing that I like to see with people too is that they are, like you said, we're all healers, and recognizing their own inner healer as we, go forward. I'm definitely not one of those readers or spiritual people who likes to like make people feel like, oh, I have all the answers and you don't know. Let help you out. Person has, oh, I missed it. Where'd the comic? Oh, I can go back there. Pisces moon. Someone with a Pisces moon. Pisces moon, when you talk to water signs and water moons, yeah, crystals are a big help. Look at, I'm all over because I'm a Pisces, y'all. I'm reading all your comments simultaneously. Mercury and Pisces too. Pisces, so with us, it's just genuine. We're all about feelings, we're all about vibes. And it seems kind of confusing, it seems nebulous, but really, we're just looking for a true vibe. We're just looking for a true vibe. You know what? I love the crystals too. And I feel like they disappear and they just like go and live their own little lives. And I'm just like, where's all my crystals at? Like I have more than this. And then they'll just come back months later when they feel like it. And let's show up again. No, if you want to talk to a Pisces, Pisces moon can be really shy, especially if it's a lot in males too. But yeah, I talk to crystals. Crystals are like, like our they're alive, they're alive like plants, and they're like our ancestors on the earth. They have a lot of energies and medicines and messages for us. Yeah. What's my favorite crystal and how do I heal myself? You got some good questions. I'm so partial with my Pisces stuff. I'm gonna say aquamarine is my favorite. I love aquamarine. I love it so much. I just feel like it's so pure. It's just like the ocean. Yeah, it's good for psychic energy and communication and creativity and connecting to the muses. And I love aquamarine. But the one I probably most recommend for, people really breaking into healing and psychic energy and all that is probably amethyst. It's very protective, very, very protective. If you're ever going through like they'll have your backs. The best crystal for protection. Um, I really, really love black tourmaline. That's very, very protective. Yes, sleeping with your crystals, you can have some crazy dreams. Malachite, labradorite, Scorpio, Sagittariusing. Yes, yes. I love it. Oh, I love that combination. Scorpio with the Sag rising. That's fun. A very like Scorpio Sagittarian like energy too. It is a Sagittarian stone, but yeah, that's perfect. It's the Inuit, they say that it's the aurora borealis caught in the ice, which is beautiful. Yeah. Malachite is one that I had to get used to its energy. It felt very I think some people do attribute it to Leo, but it felt very like hard solar to me, and I don't know how to explain it. I had to get connect with it. Yes. Yeah, so no, I really love how there's like so many different ways to heal ourselves, so many different ways to connect. It draws out emotions. Yeah, and I heard people who use it like magically and like manifestations. I've used it a little bit, but that it's like really powerful. Like it just helps you manifest like major. It's like for when you're really ready for the big time. I haven't used it in that capacity yet. I hope my connection's okay. I see it kind of waning in and out a lot. Oh, wow. Yeah, I said they used to hold the crystal to their heart and couldn't stop sobbing for 2 hours. Um, yeah, so crystals can really someone to use. I think it was Septarian, which is back here. Septarian, where it just can really call up. It was one of those. It was one of the shamanic stones. I don't remember if it was Septarian. I'm pretty sure it was. Um, but they I told them they were, you know, really going through stuff, but they're a very airy person. Their whole chart was almost air, so when the big stuff would come up, it'd be hard for them to shift. And I can't remember if it was Septarian or if it was another one of the shamanic stones that I use. And they would just start crying on the way home. I was like, you weren't supposed to hold it driving home. They just had to pull over. They're like, I had a soul quake. Yeah. Okay, let me see some of your questions here. What's my method for manifestation? Um, I like to do this candle work. Candle work. I like to use oils and make different you know, mixes like money rice. It's very like very hoodoo related. So I do that. I like to use the energy of the new moon and really manifest on that as well, and a lot of like creating on the spiritual plane through meditation and visualization. Yeah, visualization. Yeah. How long have I been on this whole spiritual path? So I've always had like psychic gifts since I was young. I was raised really strict religious, like, oh, y'all can't even believe. But the one thing that was like allowed from my guardian was like dream work, because that was, you know, acceptable in the religion or whatever to a certain extent, I guess. So I just like I never understood people that didn't listen to their dreams. Like I just didn't grow up like that. Like I was just like it wasn't until I was in like college that I realized that other people didn't do that. And then I felt so weird. I was like, man, am I weird? What? I remember someone told me a dream and I was like, oh, so you know what to do? And they were like, what? And I was like, you don't listen to your dreams? And they're like, you listen to your dreams? It was so weird. But I just always had that. My siblings, we could always feel if someone was hurt, or I don't know, it was just very natural for us. But it took a while to break out of, you know, to own that, and to be free and to break out into, you know, just being a spiritual being and not having all of that dogma and restriction and just really oppressive stuff. And so since then it was, you know, fully breaking out has been you know, probably over, you know, a decade, just really committing full time and just owning my gifts and embracing it and learning. You know, I teach all different kinds of divination, and I just love it so much. Okay, let me go back to your questions because they're going by. Yes, crying is such a relief. I really like that. I'm water dominant though, so I always encourage people that. I find it hard to feel what I want to get. Yeah, that can be a hard thing. I think that's why it's good to use physical resources. Like lately I've noticed some people will kind of certain movements will kind of snob, like, well, I don't need to use, you know, witchy things or whatever. And it's not about need to use. I feel like it's honoring too. Like we're in the physical realm. So yeah, having your stones, doing your baths, doing your, you know, getting your physical body to connect with that spiritual element and just, you know, indulge yourself in every level, from the oils that you smell that offer their medicine and their vibration, because those are the herbs. You know, I feel like it's all very honorable, and it's you know, very much connecting to the medicines from the crystals and all different things. So maybe that can help a little bit to get you into that vibration that you believe that you can get what you want. But sometimes it's hard. It is hard sometimes, and it takes like, doing, just going back to the drawing board and doing that kind of deeper work. Definitely. Sometimes I'll put certain songs in release. Yes. Yes, when you just have a cry song, or like you watch something sad on purpose. Or you know what I'll do sometimes is sometimes like I'll use it, I'll try to direct mine towards, like, I'm big on like activism and being a protector, and so I'll just go and be like, okay, like let me give, I have all this energy, like somebody must need it. So I'll just find things, I'll go and sign online petitions and things like that, and like put that energy out for them. So it's good to find different ways to release, definitely. Mm. Yeah, to feel it. Yeah, I agree. I think manifestation is definitely stronger if you get all your senses involved. Like you're there, like you smell it, you feel it, you got it, you hear it. So I do, like, have your magical playlist or whatever. Like this is when I need to, feel, like you have your salt and pepper push it when you need to feel some kind of way, and then you have your, have all your different, you have your bitch better have my money when you need to feel some kind of way. Get your full, like everything is magic, everything is manifesting, and just cultivate that. If you feel like you're trying to work on, self-love, and self-love, there's a certain color and a certain taste and a certain, way you walk when you feel that, then do all of that. Mm. Let's see. No, I'm not gonna do pull cards, because that's actually what this video is about, is that I don't want to do, I do a lot of free readings, and I'm really putting a boundary with that, with people always asking that. But you can get a personal reading. Let's see. Music's a very powerful tool. It says Pisces children. I'm so behind on these comments, y'all. Pisces children are special. Your dad has Pisces moon. Oh, a lot of Pisces moons. I have a sibling with a Pisces moon too. Yes, they're sweet. I love men that have Pisces moons, at least the ones that I've always known, because if you don't know them, they'll try to act a little bit tough or gruff, and then they're just like that gooey center when you actually know them. It's so sweet. Yes, Himalayan salt in the bath. That's right, and lavender. And you know what I love is I love geranium. I love doing some geranium oil, and it's really good. It's safe for children. So I mean, if they're really young, like babies, maybe check with your doctors. But it's really good with hex breaking and cleansing your aura. But it's just so light, and it has a slight little spice to it. I love geranium oil and lavender, and yes, and the salts in the bath. Mm-hmm. Yes. Different moods. Play your different moods. Yeah, geranium, it's like the flower. Yep, it's like the flower, but it's just in an oil form. I need to get some more because I used it up again. I'm always asking my one friend, she gets oils. I'm always like, so do you have some of that geranium? Trying to get some more. Hmm. Yes. Yes, I'm gonna be putting some oils. I'm making some more too. And I actually have oils in stock, because I have oils for like love work. I have, here's a little bit left of my road opening oil. I don't know if you can see it. So I do make oils, and this one smells so good. This one's very connected with Papa Legba. If you know him, he was the inspiration for that open door reading I did today. But I do make different oils, and I will be putting them up. I've been trying to work on a new website, because I didn't want the other one, and my computer is just like, I don't know, something's wrong with it. I'm completely locked out forever. So it's so old though. I think it's just trying to tell me it's retired. It's so old in computer years. It's like 8 years old in human years. Yes. Yes. Well, if nobody has any more questions. Oh, wait, how do you use it? With the oil? Oh, I just put it in the bath, or I put it on myself. I'll put it on, maybe put it on the bottom of like the baby's feet. Mugwort. I love mugwort. Yes, mugwort is so good. I know you can smoke it, you can burn it. It really will It kind of mugwort is kind of like the witchy version of marijuana. So marijuana is definitely a medicine, but there's a different feel with them. Mugwort works on is very much in the spiritual plane in a different way. I don't know. There's a yeah, you can smoke it. It's very strong. It's very potent. I haven't actually inhaled smoked it, but I've burned it as incense, and like I've had some very strong workings when I did that. Very, very strong. You can let's see, where did I buy my mugwort? I think I bought mine at one of the health stores actually, where they have some of them that have all those herbs. And then I also there's like a big witchy store that's when we road trip down to it, that's a few hours away. But you can definitely get it online. It's probably all over Amazon, I'm sure. Yeah, but you can use it in different ways. And I was actually learning about like mugwort can be used to heal womb energies, and yeah, it's very powerful. It's very. No, that's okay. It's fun to answer some questions and have a little chat time. Ancestor money. Yes, definitely. Treat your ancestors, definitely. So just a kind of an open way to do that is to give them money. So they actually print this money with the intention to have it for ancestor work. And I don't know, you just get it. You can put it on their altar. Some of them are meant to be burnt and given to them basically too, which is why you see certain spirits coming back when people start talking about them. They'll start feeling them. They'll start getting their own movement. Sorry, my computer's over here because it's charging. Um, yeah, so ancestors are the same. So putting things on their altar, their foods, in certain traditions you'll see are definitely more geared to that. Like when you see hoodoo and voodoo, you always take care of your ancestors first. A lot of Asian cultures are like that. You always take care of your ancestors. Florida water, what can you use it for besides cleansing? I know it's used for offerings actually. So I know like Izili Dento, which is it's her day, well Tuesday. I still need to go and do an offering with her. I'm not going to be using Florida water, but yes. So some of the different spirits they will take Florida water like as like a drink. It's alcoholic. I know, or it has alcohol in it. um, I know that some people, yeah, mostly for cleansing, I think. Yeah, get it all charged up. You know what's so awesome is Solange actually was carrying Florida water when she did her amazing do-rag saint at the Gala this year. So she had an obsidian sphere, I believe it was, and a bottle of Florida water in that net bag. I was like, okay, sister, we see you. That change is happening. People are getting back to their roots and reclaiming their spirituality, which is beautiful. Yes, definitely. Yeah. Well, it's so nice chatting. I'm gonna go ahead and go. I have the oven preheating. Thank you guys so much. This is fun. And if you guys are into this, we can do some more chats. Um, Little Miss is sleeping, so I had time to do so. But I really appreciate y'all stopping in and listen to me chatter on. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Oh, good night. Yes. All right. Thank you. Have a wonderful full moon.